Have you ever said something only to realize it was taken the wrong way? Or written an email that didn't get the response you expected? We've all been there, navigating the tricky waters of communication, where one wrong word can steer a conversation off course. But what if I told you there's a roadmap to clear, effective, and impactful communication? Welcome to our deep dive into the 7 C's of effective communication. Whether you're looking to enhance your professional presence, elevate your relationships, or simply get your message across more effectively, mastering these principles will empower you with the confidence and skills to do just that. Clarity, the key to effective communication. So let's start with the very first C, clarity. At its core, clarity in communication is about making your message as clear and understandable as possible. It's the art of being precise and straightforward, ensuring that your audience grasps your intent without any confusion. But why is clarity so crucial? Imagine you're in a new city trying to find a specific place. If the directions are vague, you're likely to end up lost, right? The same goes for communication. Without clarity, your message can easily be misinterpreted, leading to misunderstandings and frustration. So, how do we achieve clarity in our everyday communication? Here are some practical tips. Use simple language. Opt for plain language over complex jargon or technical terms. The simpler your words, the clearer your message. Be specific. General statements can be open to interpretation. Aim to be specific. Instead of saying, "I need this soon," say, "I need this by Tuesday afternoon." Organize your thoughts. Before you communicate, take a moment to organize your thoughts. A well-structured message is easier to understand. Avoid ambiguity. Ensure that your message is direct and leaves no room for misinterpretation. Ambiguity can be a roadblock to clear understanding. Let's put this into perspective with a quick example. Imagine you're delegating a task to a colleague. Instead of saying something vague like, "Can you handle the report?" be clear. "Could you compile the sales report for the last quarter by Friday?" This leaves no doubt about what is needed, when, and by whom. As we move on, remember, clarity is the foundation upon which effective communication is built. With this in your toolkit, you're on your way to becoming a more effective communicator. Conciseness. Streamlining your message. Having laid the groundwork with clarity, we now turn to our second C, conciseness. This is all about delivering your message in the most efficient manner possible. It's the skill of being brief yet comprehensive, ensuring that your communication is free of unnecessary fluff and filler. Why is conciseness so important? Well, think about it. In our fast-paced world, everyone's time is precious. A concise message respects the listener's or reader's time. It makes your communication more impactful and easier to digest. When you're concise, your audience is more likely to pay attention and remember what you've said. So, how do you make your communication concise? Here are some actionable tips. Get to the point. Start with the main idea or purpose of your message. Don't bury your point in a mountain of words. Eliminate redundancy. Avoid repeating the same information or ideas. Each sentence should add something new to your message. Use fewer words. Be ruthless in editing your message. Cut out any words that don't add value to your point. Focus on relevance. Stick to information that is directly relevant to your topic. Going off on tangents can dilute your message. Here's an example to illustrate conciseness in action. Consider a scenario where you're updating a client about a project. Instead of saying, "I am writing to inform you that we have made some progress on the project, and there are a few things that we have completed since our last meeting," try, "We've completed 3 key phases of the project since our last meeting." See the difference? The second sentence is direct, to the point, and conveys the essential information without any unnecessary details. Embracing conciseness in your communication is like being the editor of your own words. Trim the excess, focus on the core message, and watch as your communication becomes more effective and respected. Completeness. Ensuring a whole message. Completeness is about making sure your communication contains all the necessary information the receiver needs to understand your message, respond to it, and take action if required. Why is completeness vital? Imagine receiving a beautifully clear and concise invitation to an event, but it lacks the date and location. Despite the clarity and brevity, the message fails because it's not complete. Incomplete messages lead to back-and-forth clarifications, delays, and sometimes missed opportunities. So, how do you ensure your communication is complete? Here are some guidelines. Answer the key questions. Make sure your message addresses the basic questions of who, what, when, where, why, and how as applicable. Provide necessary details. Include all relevant details needed for the receiver to fully understand the message and what's expected. Anticipate questions. Think about what questions the receiver might have and answer them in your initial communication. Call to action. If your message requires a response or action, be clear about what needs to be done, by whom, and by when. Let's apply this with an example. Say you're sending an email about a meeting. A complete message would read, "Please attend the project status meeting in Conference Room B at 3 p.m. this Thursday. We'll discuss the project timelines and next steps. Your input on the marketing strategy is crucial. Please confirm your attendance." This message is complete because it tells the recipient what the meeting is about, where and when it is, why their presence is important, and it asks for a confirmation. Remember, a complete message is like a puzzle with all its pieces in place. It leaves no room for doubt or confusion, paving the way for effective communication and efficient action. Coherence, creating a logical flow. Coherence is about structuring your thoughts and ideas in a logical, orderly manner, ensuring that your message is not just complete, but also makes sense as a whole. Why is coherence essential in communication? Think of it this way. A message without coherence is like a jigsaw puzzle with all the right pieces, but assembled randomly. The picture just doesn't come together. Coherence ensures that your message is not only understood, but also remembered and respected. To make your communication coherent, consider these tips. Organize your thoughts. Before communicating, especially in formal settings like presentations or emails, outline your main points in a logical sequence. Use transitions, words like however, furthermore, in addition, and consequently act as bridges between ideas, guiding the listener or reader through your message. Stay on track. Stick to your main topic. Avoid diversions or tangents that can confuse the audience. Ensure consistency. Your ideas, tone, and style should be consistent throughout your message. This consistency reinforces your message's reliability and credibility. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're explaining a new company policy to your team. Start with the purpose of the policy, then describe the policy itself, followed by how it will be implemented, and conclude with its expected impact. Each part should flow smoothly into the next, creating a coherent and comprehensive understanding of the policy. Coherence in communication acts like a well-paved road, guiding your audience smoothly through your message. It connects the dots, making your message not just understandable, but also memorable. Courtesy, the human touch in communication. Coming up next, we'll explore how courtesy adds a vital human touch to our interactions. Courtesy is about being polite, respectful, and considerate in your interactions. It's the human element that turns the simple exchange of information into meaningful communication. Why is courtesy critical? It's simple. Courtesy builds goodwill. It makes the recipient feel valued and respected, which in turn fosters positive relationships and effective communication. Courtesy isn't just about being nice. It's about communicating in a way that respects the feelings and perspectives of others. Here are ways to incorporate courtesy into your communication. Use polite language. Words like please, thank you, and appreciate can transform the tone of your message. Show respect. Acknowledge the other person's views and feelings, even if you disagree. Respectful disagreement is a cornerstone of constructive dialogue. Be empathetic. Try to understand where the other person is coming from. Empathy can bridge gaps in understanding and perception. Mind your tone. In written communication, be mindful of how your words might come across. In spoken communication, pay attention to your voice modulation and expressions. For example, consider you need to send a reminder for a report. Instead of saying, "Send me the report you were supposed to finish," a courteous approach would be, "Could you please update me on the report status? I understand you've been busy, but it would be great to review it by tomorrow." Notice the difference? Courtesy in communication doesn't just convey a message, it builds and maintains relationships. It's about treating others the way you would like to be treated. With courtesy added to your communication skill set, you're not just sharing information, you're connecting with people on a deeper level. Correctness, the accuracy aspect. Correctness in communication is about accuracy in all aspects of your message, including language, facts, and procedure. It's ensuring that your communication is free from errors, misinformation, and inappropriate or offensive language. Why is correctness imperative? Incorrect information can mislead or confuse the receiver, while grammatical mistakes or inappropriate language can diminish your credibility and professionalism. Correctness not only involves factual accuracy, but also entails using the right level of language and tone suitable for your audience and context. To ensure correctness in your communication, consider these points. Fact check. Always verify your information before communicating. This is especially important in a professional setting where inaccurate data can have significant negative consequences. Use appropriate language and tone. Tailor your language and tone to suit the context and your audience. What's appropriate in a casual chat with friends may not be suitable in a professional email or presentation. Grammar and spelling. In written communication, pay close attention to grammar and spelling. Tools like spell checkers are helpful, but don't rely on them entirely. Cultural sensitivity. Be aware of cultural differences, especially in global communications. What's acceptable in one culture might be offensive in another. Consider an example in a business setting. If you're sending out a customer email, make sure all the details about the product, pricing, and contact information are correct. Use a professional tone and double-check for any grammatical errors. This ensures the message is not only well received, but also reflects well on your professionalism. Correctness in communication is like the compass that guides a ship. It ensures that your message is on the right course and is received as intended. It builds trust and credibility, essential to forming lasting relationships and networks. Up next, we'll talk about consideration, which ties in closely with empathy and audience awareness. Consideration, tailoring your message. Consideration in communication means being mindful of and adapting your message to the audience's feelings, needs, and perspectives. It's about empathizing with your audience and adjusting your communication style to ensure it resonates with them. Why is consideration crucial in communication? It's simple. When you show that you've taken your audience's views and circumstances into account, your message is more likely to be well received and effective. Consideration builds a bridge of empathy between you and your audience, fostering deeper understanding and connection. Here's how you can practice consideration in your communication. Know your audience. Understand the background, needs, and expectations of your audience. What works for one group may not work for another. Empathize. Put yourself in the shoes of your audience. How would you react to this message? Adapt your message. Modify your approach based on your audience's preferences and sensibilities. This could involve changing your language, tone, or even the content of your message. Be inclusive. Make sure your communication is accessible and respectful to all members of your audience, regardless of their background or abilities. For example, if you're presenting to a group of experts in a field, using technical jargon might be appropriate. However, if you're addressing a general audience, simplifying your language and avoiding technical terms would be more considerate and effective. Consideration in communication is like the fine-tuning of an instrument. It ensures that your message not only reaches your audience, but also harmonizes with their expectations and understanding. By integrating consideration with the other 6 C's, you're not just a communicator, you're a connector, a bridge builder in the world of interactions and relationships. You now have a comprehensive toolkit to enhance your communication skills in any setting or situation. Now that we've explored the 7 C's of effective communication, it's time to put this knowledge into action. Remember, understanding these concepts is just the first step. The real transformation happens when you apply them in your daily interactions. I want to encourage each of you to take on a small challenge. In your next conversation, email, or meeting, consciously apply one of the 7 C's we discussed. It could be as simple as ensuring clarity in a text message, showing consideration in an email to a colleague, or practicing conciseness in a team meeting. The goal is to become more aware of how you communicate and to see the positive impact of these small changes. And here's where you come in. I would love to hear about your experiences and any improvements you notice. Share your stories in the comments section below. Which C did you focus on? How did it change the interaction? Your insights will not only inspire others, but also help us all learn from the real-life applications of these principles. To quickly recap, clarity, be clear and precise. Conciseness, keep it brief and to the point. Completeness, provide all necessary information. Coherence, ensure logical flow and consistency. Courtesy, be respectful and empathetic. Correctness, be accurate and error-free. Consideration, adapt your message to your audience. Each of these C's contributes to making your communication more effective, impactful, and meaningful. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Check out this video about the best time management strategies. Remember, communication is an art, and like any art, it takes practice. So keep practicing, keep sharing, and let's all become better communicators, one conversation at a time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.